He'll never play an entire 14-game NFL schedule. He just can't bang around with those 260-pound linemen down after down and get by. But he goes as far with what he has as any man who ever played in the league. Tom Landry quote. Perkins set a conference rushing record at the University of New Mexico and led the nation in kickoff returns. He became one of the original Dallas Cowboys, along with Don Meredith, who was drafted by the Bears in the 1960 NFL Draft, then traded in 1960 to the Cowboys for a 1962 third-round draft pick.
The Dallas Cowboy offense is one that has been said to be very complicated. A lot of us feel that it is in many ways. It's based on percentage and execution. We run a play because we feel that it has the best possible chance to work against this defense in a certain situation.
Perkins became a Cowboy in similar fashion. He was drafted by the AFL New York Titans in the first round and also by the NFL's Baltimore Colts in the 1960 drafts. He signed with the Colts, but was earmarked for the expansion Cowboys since Dallas had not yet begun operations. As compensation for the Colts, the NFL granted them a 9th-round draft pick for 1962. Perkins was highly effective on quick-hitting trap plays, and he relied on quick feet and a sixth sense of anticipating as to when to make the right move. In a scrimmage against the Bears when he was practicing with the college All-Stars team, he broke the 5th metatarsal in his foot. The injury did not respond to treatment, and the bone didn't set properly. A piece of his hip bone was grafted to bridge the metatarsal break, and he missed the entire 1960 campaign. He was also tough as nails near the goal line. Perkins made the Pro Bowl team each of his first 3 seasons, and in 1962, his second season, he made first-team All-Pro. He made second-team All-Pro in 1967 and finished his career on a very high note as he made the Pro Bowl each of his last 3 years of his career. He finished in the top 10 rushing yards every year he played. His effective running allowed the Cowboys to utilize him on fake handoffs, which opened up the field of play for others. The Cowboys ran tight end reverses with number 84, Pettis Norman, who rushed 9 times for 91 yards in 1967. And Frank Clark also got in the action when he bolted 56 yards in Week 9 of the 1967 season. Running back Dan Reeves was also a beneficiary of highly effective Perkins fake handoffs. Reeves made defenses pay for keying on Perkins by being a very capable receiver, too. From 1965 through 1968, the years in which Reeves and Perkins played together, Reeves caught 96 passes and averaged an astounding 13.97 yards per catch. He also caught 16 touchdowns on those 96 receptions. The Cowboys' backfield coach said, "It's fantastic the way he blocks a 240-pound linebacker who has a 7-yard run at him. He uncorks and pow! That's explosion and guts." When the Cowboys wanted a big passing play, they turned their attention to wide receiver Bob Hayes, number 22. When they threw to their running backs, it was usually Dan Reeves. But Perkins caught a few, 146 over his career for an even 9-yard average. In 1964, Perkins only missed one game, despite badly bruised ribs, along with a tearing of most of the ligaments from the back of his rib cage, plus a sprained ankle. Teammates marveled at his toughness. Of his badly bruised ribs, Perkins said, "It only hurts when I breathe." Tom Landry knew that he had a terrific leader on his hands, but after the 1966 season, Perkins decided to retire. However, when the Cowboys offered a 2-year contract at almost $100,000, Perkins reneged. In Perkins' last 2 seasons, he rushed for the second and third best totals of his career, and he made the Pro Bowl each year. He wasn't a dazzling runner with electric moves, a speedster, or a bulldozer, just a running back who got the job done year after year. He only missed 5 games in 8 years of being on the Cowboys' active roster. In the 1960s, only 7 NFL runners ran for 1,000 yards in a single season. Jim Brown of the Browns did it 5 times, as did Jim Taylor of the Packers. Leroy Kelly of the Browns turned the trick 3 times, while the Kansas Comet Gale Sayers of the Bears exceeded 1,000 yards twice. John Henry Johnson of the then woeful Steelers did it twice, as did Los Angeles Rams' Dick Bass. John David Crow of the Cardinals ran for 1,000 yards in 1960, their first year in St. Louis. Perkins never topped 1,000 yards in any season. His best mark was 945 yards, but that shouldn't exclude him from being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Look at the small number of NFL rushers who rushed for 1,000 yards in the 1960s. He made the Pro Bowl 6 of his 8 seasons, and like Jim Brown, he still had plenty left in the tank at age 30 when he retired after rushing for his second best seasonal yardage total. I think that he should be a Hall of Famer because he was the 5th leading ground gainer in the history of pro football when he retired. 357 yards more than number 6, this man. It's time to sound the horn about Don Perkins' accomplishments. I believe that he's Hall of Fame worthy. What do you think?